circle.
Flower.
Get in the circle and I sit down. No? I don't know. Maybe it's okay. Too much to reshuffle? Circle good? Or, huh? I don't know. Are you okay like that?
We're okay.
We're okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Too lazy, huh?
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. It's okay. I mean, if I sit, maybe some people cannot see my lips, right? I'm already speaking with accent, and already people don't understand what I'm saying, right? Oh, you're okay. All right. All right. So, wow, today is a special day, huh?
Yes.
Yes.
You know what's special about this day?
No, is it?
A lot of people gonna make a lot of money selling flowers. That's a special. Yeah. Anyway, we usually go for flower selling, our family. This time to Boston. You know Andrew Robertson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We work for this guy. But this year I decided no. Anyways, I think the batteries are dying here, right? Yeah. Okay. Maybe my power overpowering the power. So it's good to be here. Not many people. Great family kind of environment. We always family environment, I guess, right? So anyway, today I want to talk about fathers because fathers allowed mothers to be mothers. I'm just kidding. No, we're going to talk about mothers, of course. About most precious love, right? Everybody kind of can guess what it's about. As a human beings, everybody's aware, right? If you recall your childhood, your whole life, there's stages that we go through in order to grow, right? We all go through certain stages. Amazing thing, your father have discovered those stages, right? And then he framed them into beautiful things. He called them 4 great realms of heart, right? And then each realm, ideally, from the ideal standpoint, we all have to go through, right? So everybody knows the first one, right? Children's love, right? We all have to go through children's love. Then second one is what?
Sister love.
Brothers and sisters love. Then third one is conjugal love. And then finally, the last one, right, is parental love, right? And every single stage, you have a certain kind of level of heart that you develop. Of course, our parents give us food and we have physical environment, right, we go through. But as a human being, it's important to go through those 4 stages. And I believe, according to true parents' teaching, because most of those stages were not followed, we have this mess, right? Most people never really experienced fully any of these stages, if you really think about it, right? I talked with my children just recently. I don't know, maybe it's annoying, again, to repeat it, but how difficult it is to do even simple things in life, right? We quite often think, I can do things, right? I can pick up something and do it. Or I'm gonna plant my food and just be self-sufficient, right? I can go to school and become smart. But it's so difficult to do a simplest thing. We think when we are smart or we accomplish something, we think we accomplished it. But I was making an example, a pencil. You know how hard it is to make a simple pencil? Just a pencil or a match. Why? Someone, had to do what?
Rain for it.
Well, somebody had to cut the tree, right? Then they had to cut the tree, then deliver the tree to the factory, right? And then somebody had to saw the tree, sawing. mill it, then turn it into round shape. Then someone had to mine for graphite. You know, there's graphite in the pencil, right? Then someone had to put it together. Then cutting the tree is not so simple. Someone had to make a chainsaw, right? Then someone had to make a machine to carry the tree. Then someone had to make a machine to mine for the graphite. Someone had to make a machine to refine the graphite. So reality is, it's very tough to think about that we accomplish anything in our life. When you really think about it, we all stand on someone else's accomplishment. We all stand on someone else's hard work. It's just like a fun fact. One guy decided to make a chicken sandwich from scratch.
Oh.
Meaning, he had to raise a chicken, right? He was curious, how much would it cost to make a simple chicken sandwich, right? He had to raise a chicken. He had to raise a food for the chicken, right? Like that, that takes a lot, right? Then he has to raise a wheat, grow wheat to make a bun, right? Had to do letters, everything, right? But even then, he didn't really make it from scratch because he had to buy some farming equipment that somebody else made, right? If you think about it, the fertilizer, right? Then the machine, or like the knives, right? Everything. But let's omit all that. You know how much the sandwich cost? At the end, it took him 8 months, first of all, to do it. 8 months to do it. And it cost $1,800. One chicken sandwich. Right? I mean, it's shocking, right? But we are so much indebted to people who came before us or working for us, right? When you think about it, you can live in the precious, precious gratitude. But that's just external thing. But the most difficult thing, I think, in our life to do is to raise what? A child, a human being. To raise a human being is an incredibly difficult thing. Going through every stage, like every four realm of heart, right? Children's love, siblings love, requires love, right? But not just requires love. More precisely, requires mother's love. It's that love beats any love. From my perspective, just looking at the environment and the providence and studying things, mother's love, or lack of mother's love, either build kingdoms and build civilizations, or destroyed civilizations. And I feel that deeply. Just by looking at central figures in history. Would Israel nation exist if Jacob's mom did not do what she was supposed to do? Think about it. I think Jacob had an incredible power of love. I mean, he was kind of immature what he did to his brother, right? Esau, right? But he was beloved, right? And that gave him strength eventually to have a power to realize I did something wrong to my brother. It took him 21 years to realize it. Of course, his own suffering probably. Dr. Wilson can know more about it than I do, right? But when you think about it, his mom did something very special. How about Moses' mom? Right? When you think about it, she did some tricky thing, right? She didn't want Moses to be killed. Placed him in a basket, but then pretended to be his nanny, right? Why all these people were so powerful? When you also look at, anyway, there's different things at play in Jesus' life. Of course, there is, people didn't fulfill responsibility. But when you really think about it, the tumultuous life of Jesus Christ, why was it so difficult for him? And the idea, when you really look at his relationship with his mom, it was not easy. It was very difficult, right? I don't know in spirit world what's going on, but it's not easy. He could not get married, right? But still he felt so much God's love. Somehow, studying Jesus' life, it blows my mind, because somehow this person found the strength on the cross to still love people, right? Even being completely neglected many times by his parents. I don't know exactly, Bible doesn't say everything, but we have evidence, right? Like one short crazy story. When Jesus was 12, what happened? They forgot him in the temple. I mean, what kind of mother are you? I don't know. But it's kind of telling, right, something about Jesus' life. Utterly alone. So, but still Jesus accomplished amazing things. But when you look at fathers and mothers' life, father went through incredible things. Mother went through incredible things, suffering things. And many times father said, Hunnam was father's crucifixion. I think father was saying in his speeches, right? Hunnam was like a father's crucifixion, Jesus' crucifixion, right? But he survived that. But the big difference between true father and true mother's life and, Jesus' life is what? And we're talking about mothers here, right?
You have it loving mothers.
Amazing moms. Incredible. I really believe true father brought so much victory in life because he had unwavering love of a mom. Even Messiah cannot move forward without that realm of heart. Even Messiah had to go through that realm of child's heart when he receives mom's love. Look at true mother's life. Why do you think true mother is so strong? So I believe male, right, cannot become strong without feminine love. Cannot. We gain all our courage, all our fighting spirit. We have, of course, testosterone, right, running around. We want to, right? And we fight, and sometimes we, boisterous and stuff like that. But we get all of our courage, all of our drive from mom's love, actually. Why? Because we can go back and retreat into this peace and comfort, where we gain power. I really believe when your father was going through the difficulties in his mission, he always referred to that love of mom. Your mother was raised by that kind of heart as well, right? Motherly heart of love. So, I personally, is it okay if I give my account of my life a bit, right?
Yeah.
I'm a very messed up individual.
No.
Like bad. And not for my own choice, right? I have grown up in an extremely deeply dysfunctional family, right? My mom and dad kind of hooked up together. He, of course, got her pregnant and then got married because my grandma, my mom's mom, made him marry my mom. Because where I came from, it's really bad being pregnant without having a husband, right? I mean, still kind of old-fashioned, all right? So my dad married my mom, and then I felt like from the start, almost like a Satan trying to prevent my birth, because I'm the Messiah, right? Well, I was born on March 16, 3:16. Math, what is it? John 3:16? For God so loved the world that he sent his begotten Son. Just kidding. I always make that joke on my birthday. John 3:16. It's me. No. But imagine how messed up it is, right? My dad really didn't want me to be born. He made my mom drink all kinds of tablets, the medicine. She didn't know what she was. He was just bringing her, and she's trying to abort me. Not like drink all kinds of drugs to just have a miscarriage, right? But I stubbornly attached myself to the placenta. And I said, I'm not coming out. Anyway, yeah. That actually went on for several months. Then my mom realized I'm not like coming out, right? I don't, no miscarriage. Then she freaked out. She told me all this story later, like when I was like, what? Right? And she freaked out because now she realizes this doesn't work and I might be born with like birth defect, right? And I was. See? My brain doesn't work very well. My sermon's all over the place. Nah. So I came out, right? And then I think because my mom and dad didn't really marry because of love or anything like that, and my dad had a very difficult relationship with his parents, he drank a lot. Like, I mean, you will say, yeah, figures Russians, right? So, but no, my dad is exceptional alcoholic, right? And then, so I remember when I was still a little baby, when he is sober, not drinking, the kindest guy on earth. But when he drank, like somebody replaced him completely, like devil incarnate, right? And he would beat my mom, like severely beat my mom. And as a child, right, you always feel like I need to protect my mom. I remember being a little boy, like even 5. I remember 5, 6, always trying to get between my mom and my dad to protect my mom, right? And every day I lived in fear of thinking, will my dad come back from work today drunk? And will this beating ensues again, right? I could not trust. So from the very small age, I grew up with no trust in people. Like nothing is stable in my family, nothing, right? Nothing. And then my mom, because of that, obviously being beaten and threatened, my dad would just many times say, he would make up stories, oh, you cheating on me, right? Or you this and that, and I'm gonna throw you out of the window. We lived on the 4th floor of apartment, right? Or sometimes he would grab a knife, right? And then try to threaten my mom, to kill my mom, things like that. And I would have to get in between, right? As I was growing up. So it's like I don't know it's hard to imagine maybe, but for me as a child, it's hell, like hell. I lived in continuous fear, right? And because of that, my mom is so exhausted, right, of taking care of me. She's trying to deal with crazy husband, right? By the way, crazy thing is, as I grew up, I actually had a great relationship with my dad. It's really crazy, When he took me fishing, all kinds of things. We did fun. But when he drunk, because eventually when I grew up, I remember I was 16 years old. I actually grabbed my dad like this. And then I got so much anger. And I remember after that, something changed in him. I said, I'm going to kill you if I was old enough. And I was taking martial arts too. Right? Anyway, in school, because of so much hardship, I was a clown, right? Through humor, you're trying to hide your reality, right? So my mom always would tell me, she would give me away, right? Anyway, it was difficult for her. I had a very difficult time receiving my mother's love. Difficult. However, there were 2 individuals in my life who I felt saved my life. It's my mom's mom, my grandma. She loved me to death. Because of that, I spent most of my mom would just send me to her. I would spend time with my grandma. That's who I received my love from. Literally, like all my mother's love. And then my mom's sister, my aunt, she became my, what's that? Godmother. She became my godmother, right? So those two ladies really raised me. I grew up wrapped in their love. And my grandma was extremely religious. She prayed with me, communism, by the way, right? I would go to church with my Orthodox church. You know, you're sitting here having a great time, right? I am 7. And then Orthodox churches, you know what they do in churches there? They stand. You know how long they stand? 5-6 hours. And then what is it? The priest go, oh, and he's like swinging this thing there. And I never forget this candle, smell of candles in the church. It permeates everything, right? So it's like, so I received this amazing love from my grandma, but mostly I felt like really God is loving me, preparing me. When I was 9, my grandmother passes away from cancer, right? So I left kind of alone with my parents now, but I remember I cried for 3 days straight. I'm not exaggerating. Like I cried 3 days straight. I was in the bed crying and crying and crying. And when tears run out, I remember being so dehydrated, I just made noises. Ah! And I would just see my grandmother kind of visions. I don't know, it's like crazy. Anyway, when I joined the movement, I really felt the strength that I got, right? It was coming from my grandparents, my grandma, right? And then amazing thing happened to me. The most unbelievable thing that raised me as a person even more. I somehow got my wife, right? I don't know why God loves me so much, right? I have no idea. And anyway, to me, when Father was talking about wife has to become a mom for a husband, right? Maybe if you read, right? I tell you, it actually literally happened. She became like my mom because I was so wounded inside, so much like missing things inside, right? That she displayed an incredible love of a mom to me. Actually, through that, I healed a lot. Now I'm like, now I'm a perfected individual. No. I remember saying, I will never get married, or if I ever get married, I will never treat my wife like that. You know, like my dad did, right? Never, ever. Right? So, funny thing is, not funny, crazy thing, I never grew up to be a violent person. Many kids, when they see that going on, they somehow treat their spouses that way. I never had that. And I really attribute that to my grandma and my aunt, right? That somehow they still replace that. The love that my mom couldn't give me, they gave me that love. And I really believe that if we are to grow and to develop, we need motherly love more than ever. People, I don't know why, but in our movement especially, there's so much resistance towards True Mother. Maybe not anymore as much. Maybe that's why True Mother is going through this, for us to feel for her and to unite people. I don't know. True Mother is becoming more famous because of that. I don't know. But people don't understand that they're shooting themselves in the foot by denying Mother's love. People actually running away from God by not realizing that you are not here because you did something special. You are here because your mom gave you life. Your mom raised you. And so, coward people who grow up without motherly love, it's very difficult for them to appreciate life in general. They understand in their brain that life is precious. But when you don't have a true motherly love, what do? It's easy to kill people. Somebody gave birth to a human being. You know how tough it is when I was watching my wife giving a birth? I mean, some husbands here watch your wife giving birth. You know, nurses tell me, "Are you sure you want to see this?" I'm like, "No, not sure." But it's like, because we had some men passed out. I'm like, well, I might, but you know, and you see that, and you like, oh, you know, already carrying in the stomach for 9 months, right? Then going through, depends, right? Who you are, what your body type, you know, women goes through incredible labor, right? So difficult. You're watching that as a husband in a you know, I don't know. I was watching my wife, all 4 of my kids, and you don't know what to do, right? It's like you go, you know, I wish I could take her place, but I don't wish, but I wish I can do something. She's yelling, you know, all I can do is like, you can do it, you can do it. Like, I don't know, I love you, or whatever, right? It's futile. Doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter, right? Yeah, it doesn't matter what you say. I mean, it's all futile. So you're going through that. And then true motherhood starts after that, right? If you've been a mom, right? One day, you realize, oh, I feed my baby, and it's like, okay, baby, you fed now, bye-bye, right? Doesn't work that way, right? I realized it's like never-ending commitment, never-ending. Every 2 hours, every 1 hour, every 3 hours, right? And then you feed, and you're in perpetual state of what? Exhaustion, right? You know, you go fundraising, right? You know at some point, right? I go into the van and relax, right? Yeah, or when you mom, you know this is for the next 10 years, right? And you're like, duh, right? And then at 10 years you realize, oh, this is for the next 20 years, right? Because your kids are still your kids. It never really goes away, right? So it's like unending commitment, unending. So I believe that people who don't experience that, they go to war. I mean, how can you send someone's son knowing, right, that the mom gave birth and raised, it's a precious son, and you send them to be killed, like that with one bullet? How sad. I mean, I always feel this kind of people don't deserve to be alive. A person who sends people to die in his stead should go to spirit world before they commit more sin. I mean, that's my opinion. That's my dad coming out right now. My angry dad. But I feel it's so evil to take someone's life and wrap it up as a, you fight for your country, or you, like, I don't mind if it's a self-defense. Somebody comes to your house trying to kill your family, you gotta do what you gotta do. Even then, you have to be careful, right? But life is so precious. So I believe people who never experienced that kind of motherly love and embrace are so easy to violence, so easy to mistreat other people, so easy to misunderstand other people's feelings, right? And I want to read something from Shemada. Is that okay?
Yes.
There's an old saying in the West, behind every great man is a great woman. It is true. The wife is necessary for the completion of perfection of a husband. Without his wife, a husband cannot be whole. A society in which womanhood does not complete the perfected manhood, a society in which manhood does not complete womanhood, sorry. I'm gonna go hang myself now. A society in which womanhood does not complete and perfect manhood cannot give rise to a peaceful and just world. That's what I was just talking about. It's very difficult for men to be loving and peaceful and understanding if they don't experience love of mom and love of wife. It's very difficult. Women need to fulfill the mission of wife as well as the mission of the mother. Both are essential to create peaceful and just world. The mother gives birth to children and is called to raise them through their formative years. That is the right and responsibility given primarily to women. And that is very precious, and every man has to understand that. Right? So when we think about mother's love, what do we think about? What kind of love is it? It's love of patience, love of forgiveness, but also love that understands the process. Right? Men, many times, if just men, I don't understand sometimes the process. I have a goal and I need to make that goal. And I will kill everybody else who's following me to make that goal. But women understand there is a process. Slowly, patiently. It's a love that when you're tired, you can go back and rest and recharge and give your best next day. If man does it by himself, we die in one day. Maybe. Not giving ourselves anything. So the most precious life, the most precious love in our life is mother's love. Always mother's love. That's why I believe this is a time for God's motherly love to be revealed. Because without that, there is no peace in this world. I always feel, no matter, people get hung up on who is the president and who is, which party is, elected and what administration. It doesn't matter. I'm sorry, guys. They're all the same. They're all the same. I mean, I voted for Trump. Okay, I'm just saying. I hope I don't create any enemies here. All right, right? But then the rhetoric that they're going right now. So people, a simple question: why the gas prices are so high? And then they say exactly what Biden administration said. Exactly word for word. It's a small price to pay for the freedom in Iran. Right? Biden administration said the same thing. It's a small price to pay for the freedom in Ukraine. I'm like, didn't you just, right? But it doesn't matter because everybody is misguided. Everyone, every administration, they don't understand. But that's the only thing that can save us, the world, is true parents' love. We need true parents. We need true mother. Without that, it's impossible. And so, as we go on, today, of course, I wish I could say we should celebrate mothers every day, but it's a special day, right? We should celebrate. You should bring your wives and moms to a buffet. I don't know, Chinese buffet? Whatever buffet. Yeah? My wife said, yeah. Right? However, we need to understand that this is a very providential time where God's feminine nature is being revealed, because I really believe the only way we stop killing each other and stop murdering each other and stop mistreating each other is to experience the deepest mom's love, which is the most precious, which is actually the binding glue to all four realms of heart. Without that binding glue of motherly love, nothing. I can never become a good husband without my mom loving me and showing my worth and showing how much she loved her husband. I never had example my mom loving my dad. So I didn't know what it feels like to be loved as a husband. But luckily, I don't know. I tell you, my ancestors suffered probably a lot for me to be blessed like this. I mean, you laughing, but only I know, right? Only you know you, right? Nobody knows. I know, like how messed up my life would be without this, my family. I probably either get killed,
or married already 3 times. I don't know. It's possible. Or like if I stayed in Russia, just drink myself to death. I don't know. Right? So I am so grateful to my grandma. This is the only, I always say, like when I die, that's the one person, not your parents, not God. The first person I would really see is my grandmother. Because she really guided me all the way up to here. I really believe that. Oh. I think it's the triangulation going on here. Anyway, I think what I try to say in the end is, if we cannot experience deepest gratitude, right, for the efforts on whose shoulders, the love on whose shoulders we stand, it's very hard to move forward. There's a saying that if you cannot be grateful for what you have, you don't deserve to have more. I was telling my kids, we're a generation, or we're living in an age where we have basically everything, right? Think about it, we have everything. Like, realize, kings, 500 years ago, kings did not eat as well as we eat. They just had what they I don't know what they had. They probably just had food all the time. The peasants that worked for them probably ate once a day, right? But they could not eat banana or dragon fruit, for God's sake. What is dragon fruit? Right? Just recently we ate dragon fruit. I was like, oh, I don't know, not impressed. Right? If it's not in season, you don't eat it. But we eat things that are in season. It would take 100 years ago, it would take me half a day to go from my house to Red Hook. So you plan a lot, right? You're on the horse, on the carriage, right? It would take you half a day to go to Kingston just to do shopping. Now you just hop in your car, 20 minutes later, oh, I forgot something, let's go back. Cannot have that 100 years ago. You don't forget things. Right? We have everything, and yet we're the most unhappy generation. Think about it. We're the most lonely generation. We're the most unhappy and complaining generation. Although we live like kings. And I believe somewhere we have everything, but we missed the love. We missed family. We missed parents. Right? Kids becoming more and more independent. Mom, don't bother me. Mom, I'm on the phone. Right? Right? But we forget that the most precious thing is not the gadgets we have, it's not the food we have, but the family and motherly love and fatherly love, right? And that's the most important thing. So unless we wake up, I believe, we're heading, like right now, we have everything, and we are most unhappy, we're heading into a place where we're going to have what? Nothing. Nothing. It's going to happen if we don't wake up, I believe. Because we're going to destroy ourselves. Right? So, to preserve this amazing blessing of God, external blessing, internal blessing, we need to find deepest gratitude, appreciate our parents, take care of our parents, mom especially today, right? And then this way we can really be grateful to God. I also believe very strongly by being on the, guiding a program and observing people who have a very difficult relationship with God usually have a very difficult relationship with their parents. Almost every time. Because for a little child, who is God? Parent is God, right? When you look. Do you remember when you went to school and you were like, I don't know, in 3rd grade and you see a 10th grader? Whoa. I remember they're so huge, they're big. So I was like, imagine, like for parents like God. And if God is mistreating and misusing you and treating you badly, then do you want to have that God in your life? It's very difficult. Right? So, the starting point of understanding God and a relationship with God is always a relationship with parents, every time. Yeah, almost done, don't worry. So. All right, so, any questions? I can tell you all about motherly love. No, I can't. Thank you, everyone. It's a different message from what I was going to talk.
I have a question.
What? No, I'm just kidding.
Simple.
Yeah.
Is your mother alive?
Oh yeah, she's still alive, yeah. My dad passed away from cancer, I think. Anyway, my dad was a coward. He never admitted it, right? But he was scared of things. When you're scared yourself, right? You're in fear, you attack. Right? It's always, aggression is actually defense reaction, every time. When you're aggressive towards someone, it's a reaction to defend yourself because you're so scared, right? So, I mean, he was so afraid of everything that he didn't even go to a hospital to check what he has. He, scared to find out what he has. And I really believe he would be alive. We all suspect he had a colon cancer, most likely. But funny thing, my mom, when I hit 17, my mom and dad divorced. Well, that didn't help the situation because in Russia it's a weird thing. They had a common flat, apartment, right? Even though they divorced, they still lived in the same apartment. They just divided the rooms. So they actually lived together till my dad died, right? So like he didn't beat her anymore, but they kept arguing all the time, right? It's like, it's crazy situation. Yeah. I personally am so proud of myself. I mean, I have to give myself a credit a little bit. Not proud of myself that I did something. I'm proud of myself that my life turned out 180 degrees. Even my character is like, I think without your parents, I mean, honestly, just the fact that I went through amazing training, MFT and everything really set me up to be even though my kids sometimes struggle with me, I have a short fuse. Right? And I can be pretty scary. You have no idea where I came from. I'm amazing. Like amazing. Like I would be so quick to fight. Like before movement. Oh, like you look the wrong way at me, my defense reaction, I would go to fight, right? And so because of, I was coward, right? You out of fear, right? I was kind of feisty guy. But when I stopped being afraid and stopped being always anxious, I became more peaceful. And I gave people benefit of the doubt, right? And I started more understanding people. And more, when I received so much love from my wife and my, central figures who also were women in my life, some of them were women, like I realized, wow, aggression is really a fear, camouflaged, right? So, a good man is always a confident man who received a lot of motherly love. They don't need to prove anything to anybody. They always feel, my mom alive, she lost all her teeth. I don't know, she has no. Huh? She's cute. She's very short, like crazy. My mom is like, I don't know, like this short. But she is extremely feisty lady. So one of the problem, my mom and dad had a problem because my mom would not submit. She would just sometimes kick my dad. So my dad would get angry more, right? I'm like, in my mind, like, Mom, just don't. But she had to fight. She used to be a champion of, ski, cross-country ski
Oh.
in Belarus. She actually was not champion, but she was second place, like a race, She's quite fit lady. Short, but little stud. Okay, any other questions? Did you want to meet my mom or something? She wants to come. She came twice.
Oh.
She wants to come again. But like situation in Ukraine, Belarus, because of that, because Belarus kind of supported Russia or something, they revoked all the visas and they took out even embassy in Belarus. So my mom can't even get visa anymore. And all with these wars, always simple people suffer. It's just, it's always simple people who don't care about all this crap, they suffer. So anyway, but she wants to come, and when she comes, I'll bring her over here.
Of course.
How old your mom?
Okay, so she gave me birth when she was 19.
Oh, okay.
I'm 49, so she's 69, right?
Yeah, I was born also, my mom was 19.
19, yeah. Well, that's how things go back then. Now we're like, 30, okay, it's time to have a baby. No. Back then, it's like, before you're 20, you gotta have a, Yeah. I have a brother who is 7 years younger. Because of tumultuous relationships in my family, I became a dad and a mom for my brother. I had to take care of my brother. When I was 7, I had to take care of my brother. You can imagine, crazy. When I think about it, it's like, what is going on? I mean, I would never put my kids through that. But yeah. But anyway, I think motherly love is very powerful, and without it, I think we're stuck. We're in dead end. No policy, no politics, almost no religion or no ideology can fix that. Only true motherly love, true mother's love can fix everything we have. Let's celebrate our mothers today. God bless you. Let me offer prayer. Dear Lord, our Heavenly Parent, thank you so much for this beautiful day. Finally, the spring is here. It's kind of a little bit chilly, but it's amazing. Everything is green, and you wanted to provide this beautiful, beautiful, peaceful environment for us. Thank you so very much for your love and embrace. And today is a very amazing day. It's so beautiful that in America, I'm not sure in other countries, but in America, they created this beautiful holiday, Mother's Day. And we don't have enough to say thank you. We cannot express, cannot find enough words to say thank you to our mothers. Even maybe mothers who didn't give us enough love, still, they didn't kill us. They didn't throw us out of the window when we were crying. They fed us. They gave us birth. Heavenly Parent, thank you so much for our lives. Without our mothers, we would not be here. Without true mother and true father, we would not know how beautiful your creation is, how beautiful your love is. We would not understand the full realms of heart. We would not understand your amazing love for us. And most importantly, we would never feel our value, that we belong. We always belong in the family. Heavenly Parent, thank you so very much for this beautiful day. And we really want to say thank you and embrace and hug and congratulate our mothers for their amazing accomplishments of having us. Thank you very much all for this report, Anatoli, because I was our best family. Adieu.